guys, so I get a lot of questions about money while traveling and the best cards to use and the best rates, how to get money out, all that. So I thought I would just do a little video about how I do it and what cards I use. I really am not an expert. I'm not a travel hacking expert. I did, before I left traveling, I did a lot of research and I have read a lot about it. In this video, I thought I would just explain what cards I use and the best ways I found to maximize my money on the road. I should start this video by saying that I am from the United States, and so this video is mainly going to be for other Americans. So sorry if you're from a different country. A blanket tip: if you're traveling abroad, just make sure any card you have has 0 foreign transaction fees, because those add up really quickly, and some banks have like really high fees. So as long as you have 0 transaction fees, you are like good to go. You're already off to a good start. And the other thing that I will say is that this video is not sponsored by any of the companies that I talk about. I also don't want to really have this be a discussion about the banks and what they are. This is just a discussion about how good these cards are for travel. That being said, I will go on. Okay, so here's what I like to do. I always bring a little bit of cash with me as some sort of backup, just to have some extra money in case anything goes wrong and I need money. And actually some places do accept the US dollar, so I always like to keep a little bit of US dollars with me as backup. And that's usually money that I won't touch. Maybe like $100 or so that I just don't touch the entire time unless I really needed it. And then maybe I'll bring a little bit more that I can exchange for cash if I can't find an ATM. So when you're in a different country, the best way to get money is actually through the ATM. Those will have the best exchange rates. When you exchange money at banks or hotels or wherever, they usually take a percentage, and so obviously you don't want that. Do not exchange money at the airports. Those always have the worst exchange rates. Now you might be wondering, what about ATM fees? Because those really add up. The debit card I use is from Charles Schwab. I have a checking account with them and it's really good. The reason that I love this card is because there are 0 foreign transaction fees and there are no ATM fees. Seriously, anywhere in the world I can use this at any ATM and I get reimbursed for all of the fees. It's so good. It's really like the cheapest way to get money out. Another good thing about this card is that you actually accrue interest on it. It's a pretty low percent, but still, it's like if you have money somewhere, you might as well be accruing interest. It was a little bit of a pain to set up, I remember. Like I had to go into an actual bank and I don't know. I remember it took a little bit longer than I had hoped for, but luckily I had enough time before I left. So I would just say, as with all of this, if you're going on a long trip, make sure you just arrange all of these cards and stuff in advance, because you don't want to be scrambling the last minute. Usually if you say you're leaving in like a week or something, they'll expedite your card to you, but still. I haven't had any problems with this card. I've been very happy with it. No issues. It's been good. So for credit cards, there are a lot out there actually now that have 0 foreign transaction fees and are kind of made for travel and give you really good bonus signups. Okay, that's another thing. So I am not a travel hacking expert, but in any credit card, you should look for 0 foreign transaction fees, that it has a good sign up bonus, and that you can accrue points while you use it and you can use those points for travel. If you're someone who travels a lot or you want to travel a lot, those are things to look for. So there's several out there. I did a lot of research before I picked cards, and before I left on my big trip back in October 2015, I did a lot of research and I ended up getting the Barclaycard Arrival Plus. There were a few reasons I chose this one. I was picking between this one and the Chase Sapphire Preferred, which now I have. The reason why, so the annual fee on this one is $89 and the Preferred is $95, so I was like, oh, a little bit less. And then you both get 50,000 points for sign up bonus. However, the Barclaycard, you only have to spend $3,000, and the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you have to spend $4,000. So at the time, I was getting ready to go traveling and I was spending like hardly any money at all. I was spending the bare minimum because I was saving all my money for travel. So I was really worried about not being able to spend $4,000. So that was actually one of the big factors why I picked the Barclaycard, because I was able to spend $3,000 to get the reward. And if you're getting a card like this, it's so worth it to get the reward, because like 50,000 points is like, I think it's equal on this card to like $500 worth of travel. So that's like a free ticket when you're just spending money that you would already be using. As for making sure you spend the minimum, I would just recommend putting every single thing you buy on the card, just everything. And in general, it's good because you collect points that way as well. But just anything, even just like a pack of gum, put it on the card. If you're worried you can't make the minimum, maybe ask a friend or family, are they having any big purchases like a TV coming up? And then ask, can you put it on your card? And they'll reimburse you. People do things like that. I don't know, there's other ways that if you look into travel hacking, you can find out more ways to do that. So anyway, yeah, for the first year of my travels, pretty much I was using this card. Never had any problems with it. It was really good. The way to redeem points for travel is really easy. It's like you can just buy your stuff and then it kind of like reimburses you. There are other ways to do it, but that's what I was doing, which also I think maybe isn't like the best way to do it. I don't know. Again, I don't really know travel hacking, but I was happy with it. No problems. Then I guess when I was back in the US in June, I decided to get this one, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, because I had a few trips lined up and I had some plane tickets to buy and I knew it was a good time and I knew I would be spending $4,000. So I was like, I might as well get another card and get the extra bonus points. So I got this one so I could get the bonus points. So then I got this one and I, again, really liked it. 0 foreign transaction fees, really good card. I do think now that I've had both of them, I think I prefer this one because, not just because it's called Preferred, bad joke, because when you redeem this one for travel, you can do it through their like booking portal. And I feel like you get better rewards, like the points are equal more money than this one, if that makes sense. I don't know, I feel like I accrue more points with this and then the points are worth more. I don't know. So then I started using this one. I think if I'm smart, I'm gonna cancel this one or try to like downgrade it to one that doesn't cost money because I don't want to pay an annual fee. I haven't even been using this card. Okay, but so then before I came back to New Zealand in October, I saw that the Chase Sapphire Reserve card came out. And this one is like a really hefty travel card. It's really good if you are a traveler. And this one came with 1,000 points for a bonus sign up. So I was like, yeah, I want that, which was equal to $1,500 worth of travel, which I'm like, that's so much money. And all I have to do is just spend money that I would normally be spending and just use it on this card. So I quickly got this card before I left, and there was a little bit of an issue. At first, they did not want to give me the card. Oh, because besides this other Chase card, I have another Chase credit card that I got a while ago that's like the Chase Freedom, has 0 fees. Like, great card if you're just in the US and not really traveling. Since I don't have like a really typical normal job, they did not see a lot of income coming in and they're like, oh, we don't really want to give you another card. So they actually declined me at first, but I went into a Chase branch and talked to a guy, and then what they ended up doing was lowering my credit line on one of my other cards to be able to give me this one. So it all worked out. So if that happens to you and they say no online, then I would recommend going into a Chase branch and actually talking to someone. So the bad thing about this card is that the yearly fee is $450, which is like a lot of money. However, they give you every year $300 of travel credit. So, which is really cool. Like basically, like if you spend money on travel, it'll just like automatically deduct from your account until the $300 is used up. So then it's like only really $150. But then you also get membership to Priority Pass, which gives you lounge access to lounges all over the world and airports. I'm a budget traveler and I am not someone who flies first class or business class or anything, so I never get to go in lounges. So for me to be able to have the opportunity to go in lounges is so exciting. That was seriously one of the things I really wanted this card for. If you get global entry or TSA pre-check, they will reimburse you for that. So that's about $100 that they'll reimburse you for. Overall, it is a $450 fee, but I feel like it's still a really good deal, like because of all of the perks and the $1,500 worth of travel that I got with the sign-up bonus. So now this is the card I use all the time, and I just use it for everything I buy because I'm trying to collect as many points as possible, because that's what you want to do so you can travel more. So those are the cards that I use, and really I've had no complaints. Recently actually somebody used my Chase Sapphire Reserve card and bought all this stuff online. Chase contacted me right away asking if I made the charges, and I said no. So they canceled all the stuff, no problem. And then they sent me a new card here in New Zealand. It took about 3 days. So that was really good. Really good service, no complaints. Those are my top tips really. Make sure you have cards with 0 foreign transaction fees. And then for credit cards, make sure you're accruing points. Make sure you get a card that has a good sign-up bonus, so it's worth it. There's a lot of cards out there, just see what's right for you. Oh, and the other thing though, pay them off. Usually these kind of cards that have like all these points and stuff have a little bit higher interest rates than normal, so just make sure you're paying them off every month. You don't want to be paying a lot of money in interest, because then it kind of defeats the whole purpose of like getting the good benefits. So just make sure you're paying off your cards, make sure you have enough money. So I hope that helps you a little bit. If you're going on an international trip, you might already have cards that have 0 foreign transaction fees. Just check with them first, make sure. And if you have more specific questions, you can leave them below. I'll try to answer them my best. Or maybe if any of you have good advice or certain cards that you like to use, put it in the comments below. I'd be interested to hear. If you're not subscribed, then subscribe for more travel videos from me. And thanks so much for watching. Bye.